Hey guys, this is Kevin. I edit the Berserk series on Mangastorian. We wanted to let you know now that we're aware of some of the names being off in this video, but production time doesn't allow us to go back and fix it this time, so we'll make sure to fix it in the next video.
Welcome to Mangastorian's complete story for Berserk. Today we're going to be covering chapter 201, 202, and 203. In our last video, Guts and the others had a brief meeting with a young witch named Shirka and her elf, Evalaria. Afterwards, the group pressed on and mistakenly passed through the magical barrier that was set to keep humans from ever reaching the Spirit Tree Mansion. Even though they were not welcome, the mansion's owner, Flora, welcomed everyone inside and told Guts and Casca that she has been in fact waiting for them to come. Everyone stands before Flora and they try to process what they've just heard, and Flora tells them again that she's been waiting for the branded ones to arrive. Guts thinks, how could she have known of the brand? Is she an apostle? The brand aches faintly, but something seems different. He then asks, who are you? And Flora tells him that she'll speak to him once she is done with the man that is accompanying them. Morgan then steps forward and asks that she must know of their problem, and Flora says yes. Trolls are originally creatures from another realm. Rarely do they ever appear in front of humans, but unfortunately, she cannot be of any help. There's not enough time or strength left in this body, and the time of death is close. Morgan then asks, what are they supposed to do then? And Flora tells him not to worry, she'll send Shirka in her place. Everyone turns to the young witch, and Shirka says that she's not so sure that she can, and Flora stops her, telling her that this is also a good time for her to put the results of her trainings into practice. Guts says that he's not sure about bringing anybody with them. They're already in a hurry to continue on their own journey. And Flora says of course she wouldn't ask this of them without returning the favor. By the time that they return, she will have created talismans to protect them from danger. Though she cannot remove the curse of the brand, she may be able to weaken its influence, lowering the number of spirits that it attracts and ward off their attempts to possess their bodies. Guts thinks that with Flora's help, he might be able to control the beast inside of him from trying to attack Casca. And as he looks at Casca, she sees his gaze and quickly hides behind Farnese. Guts then tells Flora that he'll accept her offer, and Shirka asks Flora if it's really a good idea. She tells Shirka to go ahead and greet everyone. After a moment of hesitation, she turns back to the group and nervously tells them all nice to meet them. Flora says that Shirka will prepare dinner for everyone, and then a medicinal bath to heal their injuries, as well as a few other things. Guts asks if she knows of the brand, then she must know that at night but Flora stops him, telling him not to worry. So please stay and relax. A short while later, as everyone gathers for dinner, Guts asks that earlier she was mentioning that she had been waiting for them. What exactly did that mean? And how did she know of the brand? She says that she had a visit from a friend in the astral realm, and he said that soon the branded ones will arrive to visit the forest, so please lend them her power. Because of the brand, those around those affected by it can see things normally that the naked eye can't see. Ishidora then says that they can see the ghosts, and Shirka explains that there's more than just that. The mortal world is a part of three existences that lap over each other. First one being the mortal world that they all live in. The next is the astral realm, which is where things like elves, trolls, and dead spirits can be seen. And finally, the world of ideas. This is where all of existence comes from. Serpico says, so elves and trolls and beings from the astral realm can be seen and even touched by these people from the ancient times who believed they existed, and that knowledge has been passed on. Shirka says that's correct. In the past, elves were accepted quite naturally. However, after the teachings of the Vatican began to spread, sightings became less and less. Ishidora then shouts, that's it! People just need to stop believing in the astral realm and everything will just disappear. And Puck grabs Ishidora's face, telling him, don't say such things! Shirka points out that that couldn't happen because people subconsciously know of the astral realm and nothing can ever be forgotten. Flora then continues stating that there's a thin overlap that exists between the mortal plane and the astral realm, which is referred to as the interstice. The acceptance and understanding of these existences is also the path from which magic comes from. After dinner, Farnese takes Casca into the bathroom, and while the girls relax, Ishidora watches from the window. He begins to undress and says he's a kid, so it's okay for him to join them, right? And as he grabs the door handle, Shirka is already there, standing quietly, casting a spell. His screams can be heard, and then he's hung up by some vines, and Evalaria tells him that he's going to be staying there until morning. Meanwhile, with Guts, he steps outside and holds out the behelit, asking Flora if she knows what this is. She takes the egg, telling him yes, she knows of it, and anyone who aspires to or has researched magic should know of it. It is the key that links the spiritual worlds to theirs, and with it, he can call the 5 angels. And while the two of them talk, Shirka silently listens in. Guts then asks that with that egg, would he be able to use it and call those angels? And Flora asks that brand. She would assume that it is from them. So would he be calling them for revenge? Before Guts can answer, Casca walks outside of the bath in front of everyone, and Farnese quickly grabs her and brings her back inside. She says that she's trying to protect that girl from journeying to Elfheim, isn't she? Which is ironic, being as that the hatred inside of him, the thing that is supporting him this whole time, is the one thing that can also put Casca in danger. Guts thinks about it, and Flora says that she is sorry. She cannot answer what he wants to know. The behelit is not something that you can use as a simple trick. Because of its deep connection to the astral world, it is sent to the physical world for someone of power to use. Not just anyone can use it, so if it truly doesn't belong to Guts, then it will leave his possession and return to who it does belong to. She hands the behelit back, stating that if he seeks to use this object as a device for his revenge, pray that it flies far away from his hands. Guts tells her, actually, I don't plan on carrying this thing around. But before he could do anything with it, Puck swoops in, snatching it, stating, that's mine! While Puck goes on stating that it was his to take care of, Guts asks Flora what of the Godhand. Who are they? Flora then says that to those who research the spiritual world, this is another great mystery. What she does know is that they were once humans like them, and now they dwell deep within the astral realm. But even still, they serve a higher being that lives in a layer of the world that humans cannot venture. Flora goes on stating that she's sorry that she isn't more helpful, and Guts tells her it's fine. The help of the talisman is more than enough. As he begins to leave, he passes Shurika, and she tells him that she has learnt of his brand. He was made as an offering to the Godhand. Guts doesn't respond, and then she asks if he's struggling against his fate. Does he really plan on fighting against those beings that are higher than him? He waits for a moment, and then he tells her, that's right. I plan that one day I'll be able to destroy them. As he leaves, Shurika asks Flora if he is really such a foolish man to think of such things. And she begins to talk about what she said when her spirit was within a bird, talking about how when she first saw Griffith, he had a strong, fascinating aura around him. Even though he looked human, he had an inhuman presence, one who was peerless in the astral realm. Flora then mentions that the hawk that she speaks of is also the one who branded Guts. She goes on telling Shurika that she must cherish this upcoming journey with Guts, as it will provide the experiences that she needs to add great value to her life. The next morning, everyone prepares to head back to Morgan's village, and Shurika finishes up the charm on Guts' neck to hold off the spirits until they return. Afterwards, she lays out several weapons and chainmails and tells everyone that these have a divine protection, so they'll be able to fight against the trolls without having to cast magic. First, she hands Serpico a cloak, and as he grabs it, he notices it's floating by itself. She tells him to look close, and then she can see the tiny little spirits fluttering within it. Shurika then says that this is the wind element Sylph, and the cloak will allow the wearer to brush away sword and arrow attacks. Along with it is Sylph's sword, which is a sword made from the feather of a great eagle. One swing from a distance with this sword will be as if they were standing next to their target. Serpico then inspects the blade, and he says that he would like to test it, and he swings the sword towards a candle. A powerful gust of wind blows by, putting the candle out, and then it rustles the plants behind it. Ishidora says that's cool. What about him? What does he get? What's his toy? So she hands him a dagger, and he says, well, this is boring. And then he asks, why is it glowing red? As he looks, he sees little things moving around the blade, and he asks if those are lizards. She tells him that they are the fire element salamander, and its blade is made of boiling lava. He whispers that fire's dangerous. Wind is so much cooler. And then Ishidora stabs it into the table. The fire spirits begin to pour out, setting the table on fire. Next, Farnese and Casca are given sets of silver chainmail, and for Farnese, a silver dagger. Shurika then grabs the battle axe and hands it to Guts, and he tells her that he won't be needing it. He grips the Dragon Slayer, and he says that he would much rather take the thing his hand is familiar with into battle. As he leaves, Shurika stares at the giant sword, sensing something off about it. Once everyone has their things ready, Flora comes out to say goodbye, and Shurika asks why she doesn't leave Casca here just in case. Guts looks over and sees Casca playing with the golems and says that though he appreciates the request, this place isn't 100% safe. Because of that, I would rather have her within the reach of my sword. Flora then looks over at Farnese and asks if she's going, and Farnese says yes, and then sighs, stating that even though she might not be that useful. Guts tells her that he will entrust Casca's protection to her, and she brightens up, telling him, of course! As everyone leaves, Guts feels someone looking at him, and as he looks out at the balcony, he notices a shadow watching over them. Once alone, Flora heads back inside of the mansion and says that that is a group of strong children, and he should have talked to them. The shadow doesn't answer, and Flora then says, you have a question. Is it because you suffer from the same curse, or that you pity them? Or is it that you only want to use them? The shadow begins to walk forward, and Flora goes on telling the shadow that she is still convinced that he is still human at heart, even if he doesn't think so. And the Skull Knight then says, Guts may be an important piece of the fate. And there you have it, the reveal of a lot of what is going on within the world of Berserk. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys will be sticking around and subscribing to the channel. Don't forget, every Friday we bring you another chapter of Berserk, and you can subscribe to get that. Follow us on Twitter at Mangastorian, and I'll see you next time right here.